I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, can you see my slide? Fine. Okay, cool. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you, Lisa and ORT Jet, for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm assuming that some of you are here today because you know the power of social media and the positive impact it can make on your business, but might be feeling frustrated or confused about why your content isn't getting a lot of reach and how to create a guaranteed plan that works so that you can get the actual results that you want. In order to sell your products or services online and grow a business online, we need to find ways to systematically grow your brand awareness, generate more demand so that you can convert on that increased demand. Social media is obviously a very powerful place to do this. The problem is that there is so much happening within the social media space and so much opportunity where you could be wasting time and money. Taking the time to put together a post, but getting very little traction, leaving you feeling frustrated. I've also been feeling frustrated by the new changes in the algorithm and the privacy settings. And so I've reached out and joined a great community through Strong Brand Social. Definitely check them out for some amazing tips and tools. I'm going to share with you some insights from them and models that I use and know work for my clients. Okay. Before we begin, let's quickly talk about the state of social media today. We are now sitting at a mere 5% of your audience will see your content organically. That's 1 out of every 20 followers. Statistically, 3% of those people might engage with it or click to buy, depending on how you've engineered your post. There's a few workarounds for this. For example, some brands decide to post twice per day, every day. Some brands use partnership marketing to get in front of a new audience. Some brands use paid social advertising, and then some brands do all of the above. Doing all of the above is not an option for most brands and small business owners that I work with. So here's an approach that works for any brand with any budgets. Quality over quantity. Rather take the time to ensure the quality of the content is good, if not awesome. Try post 2 to 4 times per week. That's all you need to do. And allocate a small amount of budget, even 50 Rand to 100 Rand, to promote each post. When boosting, each post reaches further, lasts longer, and works harder. Boost posts for engagements, for profile views or page likes, and for link clicks. Do one of each every month at least. Okay, 3 pockets of social media content is a great model to base your content pillars around. I'll get to content pillars just now, but organize and plan your entire communication strategy with this in mind. These pockets consist of owned, paid, and earned content. Owned content, content that you have created or published onto your own channels. This is content you publish without putting any paid budget behind it. It's your websites, blogs, emailers, Facebook and Instagram accounts, your newsfeed content like your posts, your about info, your bio, and your stories. Paid content. Paid content is anything that you put paid media against. It's your paid social media campaigns, influencers, and boosted posts. Earned content. This is content you get when people engage with or share your content. Think of the word freebies. It is often forgotten, but it is how you get the most out of the time you invested in your social media channels. It's the reviews and testimonials on your website or Facebook page. It's the frequent comments on your posts It's the tagged photos or mentions on your social media channels. What I'm going to take you through next is ways in which you can monetize on your owned content and how to generate earned content. I'm going to take you through the sweet spots of where you should focus on putting your paid budget into. Owned and paid. Increase traffic and exposure to your website by putting paid media into your owned content. This is where you want to gain as much information about your customers and monetize your social media presence. Monetize your social media presence by boosting your own content. Boost content that is yours, like content that focuses on your product and even your blog posts, which also should focus on your brand or your product. Concentrate on growing your followers and increasing traffic to your website by boosting meaningful content that has already resonated with your customers. If a post is doing well organically, you should be boosting it. Owned and earned. Earned content that creates owned content, which drives traffic. You want to look for content that your customers have created for you, or try and encourage your fans and customers to do so and turn it into your own content. So encourage your customers or fans to write reviews, use things like competitions to gain this content. You can also reward your customers with once-off coupon codes if they tag you or write a review. This content created by your customers turns your customers into advocates for your brand, and people resonate really well to this content. YouCook, for example, uses their own content like recipe cards that generates earned content. Customers are so excited to share their version of the dish and photograph it with the recipe card, which has the YouCook logo visible. This is free exposure on their customers' social media accounts. Earned and paid. When you start gaining momentum in your earned content, you should start putting paid budget into earned content. This is the ultimate. Boost and promote things like reviews, user-generated content. People resonate and respond really well to this content, and you will see a drop in your cost per acquisition and therefore get more for what you spend. For example, Never Fully Dressed does well with their earned content by consistently promoting this content, even using reviews in their social media ad campaigns and stating that their customers are their influencers in their tagline. Eventually, your customers become your advocates and they become your content creators. Boost this content to see incredible results. Content that doesn't look like advertising, that is created by genuine people with your products, using your products in a real setting, and boosting that content and getting it in front of new customers, your existing customers, does really, really well because it doesn't look like advertising. 5 things you can do today to help boost your social media presence and website traffic. Number 1, organize your content with content pillars. Creating content pillars helps you get organized. Align your content pillars to your business goals and prioritize your storytelling. It helps your customers systematically increase, like, and trust because there is cohesion and thought with your content. Essentially, it's your storytelling framework. We all know by now that authentic content that tells your unique story wins. Content pillar examples that can work for any brand. Lifestyle. Allure and entice your audience with beautiful lifestyle images. Pull your audience in with aspirational imagery. Images with people perform best. Instagram especially loves people, images with people. But if you want to showcase your product without people in the images, Make sure to shoot your product on textured backdrops and backgrounds with really good lighting. Showcase your product in use. Like, for example, Mama Alice on the far right, most of their content is user-generated content. They've done really well with their customers creating content for them. And it's just a really beautiful way to showcase their product. The product is nice and in focus, and then you've got the beautiful backdrop of the ocean behind it. Again, this imagery doesn't look like advertising. This pillar generates owned content. So I wanted to give you pillars that can help you with this, this model, with the sweet spots, and just really showcase how these pillars can generate that content. Mission: stand out from the crowd with stories about who you are and how your business is different from the rest. Share your milestones with your audience. Put a face to the brand so that your audience knows there is a human behind this brand and that it's not just a corporation. For example, MeMB does this really well by showing their audience exactly who they are and what their business model is all about, inviting their customers and audience into their business. You really do make us as followers feel like they're part of the business, and they really showcase everything about the business, even giving tips on how to run a small business. Their content is really, really great. Engage. This pillar is all about the unexpected fun. Ask questions, generate questionnaires and polls, or linking back to your brand or products. And get your fans engaging. Post fun content like memes. This pillar generates earned content. So this content, like posting something about like a competition where maybe you ask your audience to, you know, if they comment or they leave a review, they could win something, or they could get a once-off coupon code, asking them questions that are aligned to their brand, to your brand, asking them to tell us, you know, if you're looking to extend your range of products, ask your customers what is something that they want to see next, as a social media post and as products that you are going to develop and sell eventually. And then also just give feedback on the industry and what's happening in the world right now within your, keeping it in line with your brand. User-generated content. This pillar converts earned content into owned content, turning reviews, tagged photos and comments into your own posts. People love being, if they've tagged you, if they've tagged your business, or they've tagged your location, people would love to be featured on your social media channel. It's this emotional exchange that happens on social media. So definitely don't, that kind of content is amazing to use. Create social media posts with the reviews, even if it's a comment, and boost this content. Yeah, this content does really well. This is where you want to put most of your brand awareness budget into this kind of content. And then in the next session, I'll talk about your ad budgets and how to split it between brand awareness, link clicks and purchases. So that's something we'll go through in the next session. Okay, number 2, another freebie way to drive engagement and ultimately drive sales is through the personification of your brand. It drives greater engagement and builds a community that ultimately sells for you. There are 4 key areas to consider in the personification of your brand. Number 1, tone of voice. This is how you choose to represent your brand and tone of voice online. It is a good idea to flesh this out before you start so that you have a guideline of how you want your brand to sound. Example, honest, playful, quirky, respectful, professional. It is a good idea to sound more like a human than like a corporation. Emojis. Do you use emojis? If so, what are your brand emojis? Consider using emojis across the board from your social media posts and in your community management. Conversation. Keep your fans engaged with conversation. When a user comments on your content, prompt a conversation. If they say something like, "Oh, I love this," ask them which one is their favorite. Keep the conversation going beyond the social media channel. You might even get a conversion from this conversation. Now more than ever, brands need to take care of their existing customers, nurture those relationships and keep them engaged, and ultimately convert those engagements into sales. With the 5% reach, with the organic 5% reach, and the privacy settings changing within social media, and how we are going to be able to retarget customers and find customers that are similar to those who already follow us and engage with us. Those privacy settings are getting tighter and tighter. So eventually, there's a lot of things that we use right now in social media advertising that in the future we might not be able to use. So nurturing your existing followers is going to become something that is very important. You can obviously do that with email campaigns and giving your existing past customers something unique and special that maybe other people don't get. But nurturing those relationships is going to be very important. So starting it off now and it becoming a habit so that eventually it's just going to be second nature. Number 4, community. Engage with your community, network with like-minded brands and individuals, like their content, comment on their posts, because it's all free exposure. Example of personification in your Instagram bio. Both of these brands are similar in what they do and sell, but how they choose to represent themselves on social media is completely different. Mint Velvet, clearly you can see it's a brand, it's professional, you know you're talking to a corporation. They use their logo as their profile image. Never Fully Dressed, looks like you're following another human, very playful and approachable, someone you want to follow. A customer is used as their profile image. And you can also see there's the use of emojis in their Instagram bio. Here's an example of personification in content. This content drives conversation, but keeps the topic about the brand. People engaging on mentioning your products, and fans are engaging with each other. Customers begin to sell for you. Hashtags. Join bigger conversations happening online with hashtags. Again, this is free exposure. For Instagram, use over 11 hashtags, not necessarily to use for Facebook, 2 for Twitter. Use at least 3 hashtags that are unique to your brand, 3 that are aligned with your content pillars. So whatever, if you are talking about your mission and who you are, you want to use hashtags that are aligned with that pillar. And then the rest of the hashtags can be associated with a large following. But you can't promote or boost a post, I think, that has more than 11 hashtags. So 11 is a good standard amount of hashtags to use. Number 4, boost your posts. Even boosting for 50 Rand allows you to add a call to action and allows you to reach more people. Boosting allows you to reach your current fans who you know or are already interested in your business. Boost your content so that you stay front of mind and in their news feeds. It also allows you to add a call to action like shop now or view this Instagram profile. or take your users to a specific desired destination on your website. Number 5, Facebook and Instagram shop. Link your website to your social media channels. Fans can then easily navigate to your shop without trying to find links or opening your shop in a new app or browser. This is something you can do some research on. I know that Shopify has some amazing tools in integrating your website shop to your Facebook page. There's lots of things you can do, and it's literally just a YouTube video away. However, I do know that a lot of it can also be linked to your business manager. So we can talk about that in the next session as well. How do we prioritize what to work on first? This is different for everybody, and this is just merely a guideline. You'll see how the arrows continues. This means that you'll always be working on these areas, consistently improving and creating. In the first 3 months, you would want to work on your website, content, and your user experience, your emailers, your blogs, organic social media posts. You want to make sure that you know what your pillars are going to be, you know what kind of posts are going to be in each pillar, you know what your business goals are for social media and what you want to get out of your social media channels. Your website, you've already tested it. You've tested the user experience by having someone perform some purchases, maybe even trying to boost a post and seeing what happens from that. But yeah, in the beginning, it's really about making sure that your own content is up to scratch and you've got lots to work with. At 3 to 6 months, you would want to start encouraging your fans to write reviews, tag you in posts, and start generating some conversation. You also want to systematically gain new followers by doing paid ads. So Facebook page-like ads and Instagram view profile ads. You'll be using interest targeting for these kind of ads. Some people think that the most important thing is to, organically grow your social media following, but I promise you that isn't the way anymore. Even using 30 hashtags per post isn't going to help you do that. You really need to look at doing Facebook page-like ads and Instagram view profile ads, and start boosting your posts to new people with the use of interest targeting. Now, by doing that, you'll get a lot of new followers from boosting that kind of content, and building on the right people following you. Because later on, you'll start building ads that are targeted to your existing followers. This helps those ads become cheaper because now Facebook knows they've already got a database to work with of the right kind of people to target your ads to. And you will also at the same time be targeting to new customers. So you'll be running a couple of ads at the same time with different ad objectives. So at month 6 to 9, you can start looking at paid social ad campaigns and retargeting campaigns. In the next session, I'll take you through paid social ad campaigns and retargeting campaigns, which are quite complicated. You need to have a lot of the right things in place to be able to do that. But in the beginning, your retargeting campaigns could be things like boosting your posts to your existing followers so that you can make sure you get in front of them. After your year or so, and you feel like you're ready, look into doing PR and paid influencer marketing. But it isn't essential and something you can do even after 2 years. Okay, that's the slides. I just want to check in the chat. What is the difference between boosting a post and a sponsored post? Does boosting your post with paid advertising change the algorithm for future posts, even briefly? Okay, cool. These are great questions. the difference between boosting posts and sponsored posts is they're actually the same. So the difference is a boosted post and a social ad campaign. So boosted post is something you would do on the front end of a post, where you'll see that little boost button. And then there's the paid advertising campaign way, which you would do from the back end in Business Manager. So there's such a thing as dark ads, where the post doesn't live on your news feed, but you created the ad in Business Manager. So that would be a dark ad. And then your boosted post would be something that's already on your news feed that you're boosting for either link clicks or profile views, engagements. All three of those are really important. I hope that answers that. What is the difference between boosting posts and sponsored posts? Yeah, those are kind of the same things. The ad campaign is something different. It's those carousel ads that you see where you've got like multiple products that you scroll through. If you've ever been delivered like a Take-A-Lot ad or a Superbalist ad, those are the type of campaign ads that I'm talking about. Does boosting a post with paid advertising change the algorithm for future posts? It does, for the better. So what you want to do with your boosted posts is you want to either boost for new followers with interest targeting, so that you are targeting the right people who you want to follow your brand. What this does is that Facebook learns who these people are and tries to deliver your next boosted post to people that are similar to them. So it is really good to boost your content and try and be as specific as possible. Try and get in when you're doing interest targeting, which is something we can talk about more in the next session, but try and get into the headspace of who this customer might be. What are their habits? Do they go to markets on the weekend? Do they shop from Woolies? What is this person? What are their habits on the weekend, and what do they like? Does the time of day that you post matter? It matters if you are relying on organic reach only, but it doesn't matter if you are boosting your content. When you boost, Facebook will automatically decide, obviously you can boost a post for say 2 to 3 days or longer. And over that period of time, Facebook will decide what time is the best time of day to deliver that content to a user. But if you're doing it organically, I wouldn't stress too much. I think it's far too stressful trying to figure out which time of day is best. And I'd rather just put 50 Rand into a post just to make sure that it does get in front of people. How do you drive traffic to your website? Again, making sure that there's so many ways, but again, relying on organic content and not boosting your posts makes that a little bit harder. Ensuring that you have reasons for people to go and visit your website. So not revealing everything in the social media post. Try and lure your user in to find out more on the website. So your website is going to be your best friend. It's where your blogs are going to live. If you have some amazing content that you feel, some amazing insights that you want to share with people, create blog posts and post those blog posts onto your social media channels and boost that. That really drives amazing sales, and it also doesn't, again, look like advertising. And then obviously once they get onto your website, just make sure that that blog post has a button to make sure that they can get back to the home page, or go and search for certain products or services that you're talking about in your blog post. What is the best day to send out marketing emails. It does change. This changes quite a bit. And I think it does depend on your audience. So some businesses, maybe they are, targeting more wholesale and retailers. So business to business marketing, that I would send on maybe like a Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning. But then to the general public, the best time of day would be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I mean, the best days, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And then time of day is anything between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. But I think it also depends on the age group of who you're talking to as well. And then, do you have to link an Instagram account to Facebook account to access Ads Manager? Yes. So Facebook owns Instagram, and even sometimes what happens with some clients that I help with their social media ads is that they don't even know that a business manager was created for them. Facebook will automatically create a business manager when you start boosting your posts. The business manager will probably be under your name or the business name, but it's already there. If you go to business.facebook.com, if you've already logged into your Facebook profile, it will automatically log you into your business manager, and you can have a look there and see. But yeah, you can only to advertise properly, you need to have a Facebook account. The other thing is with Facebook is that it's got a huge ranking within Google. So you don't want to disregard Facebook at all. It's still a very powerful platform. You can cross post, meaning you can post the same thing you're posting on Instagram and post it to Facebook. But it's still a really, really powerful tool, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And Business Manager, when I take you through it in the next session, you'll see how powerful it is and how specific you can be. You can boost, say, blog posts and things like that only on Facebook, and then you can boost other content on Instagram. I could go on about the two channels for a very long time. What are your most recommended community management tools? I love Sprout Social, but it's quite expensive for our South African market. They haven't really changed the pricing to accommodate the South African rand. So it is quite an expensive tool, but it is a really amazing tool for having multiple people using the tool, but also for community management, which I think it's quite important for you guys to have really strong community management. And it's a really great tool for doing that. Otherwise, Hootsuite is really great, and it's very well priced. But now you can, if you just want to schedule out posts, I would schedule myself an email and just post to Instagram and just automatically send it to Facebook, which you can now do, which is really great if you're looking to just save costs in that regard. Okay, how specific should you get when selecting audience tags? Example, upper LSM, iPhone users, etc., when setting up an ad campaign on Facebook. So upper LSM or whichever audience you want to target, you be specific in their behavior and the things that they would like. iPhone users, I would only look, firstly, the iOS 14 update has made it really difficult to target to iPhone users. So interest targeting is going to be your best bet going forward. The other thing is one needs to have faith that Facebook knows what they're doing when they're delivering your content, and they will try and get the cheapest what's it called, cost per whatever your ad objective is. So my favorite way to advertise, and being specific with advertising, is obviously by growing your followers over 6 months and getting that follower going to over at least 2,000 followers. And then when you are doing your targeted ads later on, you want to target people that are either your followers, if you have a large following on Facebook, or depending on which channel you have a bigger following on, and add in people that are similar to those that already follow you. So Facebook will, you don't have to then be too specific with your interest targeting, because Facebook will know who are those people to deliver your ads to, because you've told them to deliver your content to people that are similar to those that already follow you, or similar to those that maybe visited your website in the last 180 days. So you want to, in the beginning, build on that information so that it can make your advertising later a lot easier. Okay. Gosh. Do you have any tips on LinkedIn social posts, or should your posting content strategy be similar to, sorry, hang on. LinkedIn, I don't have too much experience with LinkedIn. I think that other than using it for myself, it is, I know, a very powerful tool. I know that it's opposite in the way that you should be posting less is more with LinkedIn. And I think you can choose pillars like your mission, and lifestyle, those two pillars. Lifestyle meaning more like your product and things, or your own content. That kind of stuff you would put on LinkedIn. It is more of a, I guess, a serious platform. But yeah, blog posts and blog articles and that kind of thing you want to be posting on LinkedIn. Okay, I hope I didn't miss some questions. Okay, how does one focus on getting more likes and followers on the Instagram and Facebook page? Likes and followers. So this is, again, the likes and followers on your Instagram and Facebook page. That's just creating the page likes ad. So promoting your Facebook page is very important. It's very cheap to do so. It can cost less than 50 cents per follower. And then Instagram, you want to boost within Instagram to boost it for profile views. That way people will get the content delivered to them, and then a little button will pop up saying view this profile. And that, with that kind of content, you want to boost content that has already done really well, and you can see that people are engaging with their content quite nicely, and take them, and people want to see, oh, why is this getting so many likes? There's quite a few comments here. Let me go and have a look at their Instagram account. Okay, what are the main differences between Facebook and Instagram as marketing tools? That's probably a session on its own. What about other platforms like Google My Business or LinkedIn? Yeah, it's quite a loaded question, but I totally hear you. The main difference is Instagram is a visual platform. It's actually fast becoming more a video platform. And so Instagram is more all about like beautiful imagery and people wanting to follow you because you post really beautiful, cool content, and it's entertaining. It's more of an entertaining platform, whereas Facebook is sort of more news, also entertaining and video. It's more about how you engineer your content for each platform. So if you are doing reels and you're doing like really cool stuff like polls and things like that, maybe Instagram is going to be your platform for that. But if you are more of an informative sort of business and you want to be a leader in your industry, Facebook would be your platform for that. But it definitely takes some testing. You've got to test out by boosting posts and seeing the reaction and the sales or the bookings that come from that, and see if it's coming from Facebook or is it coming from Instagram. And then you'll be able to tell which platform works better for you. But in my experience, I find that the platforms go up and down. So some months maybe Instagram perform better, other months Facebook perform better. So you really want to make sure that you're getting all the things you want to communicate on both channels. What about other platforms like Google My Business or LinkedIn? Across the board, it is important to have, if I could, maybe it's making a checklist of all the things that you need to get done, but Google My Business is very important. It's not necessary that you post all the time. I think I'm not too familiar with Google My Business. I know that it's about registering your business online so that you can see. So if someone Googles your business, you've updated the latest images about your business and the location and that kind of thing. I might be wrong, but I think that's what it's about. The main thing with somebody asking earlier if Facebook is even like, should we even be using Facebook? When somebody Googles something and your post, the post that you've put out on Facebook, has those keywords that someone is trying to search, just like you would try and get the SEO on your website to make sure that you're using all the right wording on your website. You need to be doing the same thing with your Facebook content, because it helps with SEO across the board on any web browser. So having everything in place, sort of capitalizing on all the things that are available to you, is really important. What are your thoughts on accepting followers on Instagram? I'm not sure if it's, I think for a business, if it's a business profile.
Sorry, Nadia, no, what I was saying is that you just accept, do you actually review who you're accepting, or is it all about how many followers you have? Like, what is the strategy behind how many followers you have and how many followers you're following? Just to understand that more.
So I have some clients who have sort of subscribed to these bots that allow them to get like an insane amount of followers, because that used to be an important metric for a lot of people, but it is a cosmetic metric, the amount of followers you have. It is good to have a good amount of followers, but it's not as important as it used to be. People don't necessarily want to just follow someone because they have tons of followers. The main thing is posting consistently, being active, so that you are you don't look like you're not posting anything and you're inactive. The problem with the bots, which is sort of going back to your question, Lisa, is that the bots are just random people, right? So when I start to advertise for them and I start to try and target people who are similar to those that already follow them, the the information that Facebook has is on these random people who actually aren't interested in their business. So then you start delivering your content and wasting your money to people who are either a bot, or they're not legit, or they're just an influencer who needs to follow certain brands in the hopes that the brand will follow them back. So you do want your followers to be quite genuine, yeah, you want to make sure that they're genuine followers, but obviously not being too picky, but having a good amount of followers, of genuine followers, so that when you do advertise, so that you can showcase your content to those people who follow you, you can deliver it to the right people. Hope that answers that. Okay, what is the best time frame to monitor a performance of an ad before making any changes to it? Changing creative, refining audiences, etc. Oh, love this question. So an ad has a lifespan of about 3 months. Facebook needs at least a month to figure out who are the best people to deliver this ad to. Then after month 2, the ad becomes a bit cheaper because it's become more accurate, because the people engaging with it, or making purchases, or going back to your website, Facebook is learning the right people to send this ad to. So the ad gets better. So I would only make a change to an ad if my cost per acquisition is too high. So this is again something I'll take you through in the second session. But there are 3 different types of ads you can do. But if you're doing, say, something just for link clicks, and your cost per link click is over, say, 3 or 4 rand, then I would, after maybe just 2 weeks, I would say that it would be a good idea to change the creative or change the copy, because link clicks are actually are relatively quite cheap. So it shouldn't be costing you anything more than 3 or 4 rand per link click, but it depends on the industry and what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah. What do you think about getting fake followers? No, I don't think it's good. Like I said, it's it's such a cosmetic sort of thing, is to just have followers. Look, I'm no influencer, and if this is because you sort of want to be an influencer of type, and you want to have a large following, so that you can sell that to different businesses and things like that you have this large following and etc., then that's something else that I don't know too much about. But what I do know is, within a business, you don't want to have fake followers. Like I said, if you start delivering your content and you're going to start boosting content, you'll end up boosting your content will be shown to the wrong people, and then you're just wasting money. And like I said, with less than 5% of your audience organically being able to see your content, you're going to want to boost your posts, and you want to boost it to people who already follow you, or people similar to those that follow you. If you run a micro business, how much time should you spend on social media? What budget should we have? I think that if you look at how long it takes you to put a post together, this is so tricky, because obviously, you know, I charge for putting a post together, and because people think that we all post ourselves, and you know, we do it on our own social media channels, that must probably just take us 5 minutes. But if you had to actually track your time of how long it has taken you to put that post on social media, it takes a lot of time. And if you're a micro business and you're working for yourself, time is money. and taking the time to put that post together means that you really want that post to work hard for you. So if I was a micro business, I would look at posting at least once or twice per week and at least putting 50 Rand into each post. So you really don't need a huge amount of ad budget. You can work with 200 to 400 Rand per month and then split that budget between boosting for engagements, boosting for followers, and boosting for link clicks. If you're scared of social media, how do you suggest you overcome this? Please share some key points. I think for me, the biggest fear I have with what I do is showcasing myself on social media. And it's something that I need to work on. What if you are the product? Example, movement yoga teacher. Totally. Like, maybe it's a matter of us going for some acting classes or something to help us build the confidence of putting ourselves out there on social media. Yeah, I think it definitely takes a certain kind of personality to be the face on your social media and to showcase yourself. I think that what you could do is maybe film yourself, film your movement classes and your yoga classes, but you don't have to speak to the camera. Now with reels on Instagram, you can just record your voice and overlay your voice over the session, and you can guide them that way. That way you're not talking at the camera, which might take that fear away a little bit, or you can use a voiceover or something like that. But yeah, totally feel you on that one. But I think it's just, you've just got to do it, like me being here today. You've just got to put it out there and see how it performs. And I think you can't go wrong if you know what you're giving to people is valuable and meaningful, and you genuinely want to help people with your services. You know, you can't go wrong. And also, you don't have to be perfect. I read this thing the other day about how, you know, we are so, we can stop ourselves from doing stuff because we're so paranoid about making everything perfect, about these content pillars and getting the right content out there, the right imagery. But the main thing is to just start. Just get it out there. You can always archive your posts. You can always hide your posts or whatever, but definitely just start somewhere and just get the rhythm going. Yeah. Does using all tools the platform has to offer increase your ranking? Example for Instagram, using Reels, Stories, IGTV, guides, etc. Does using all the tools the platform has to offer increase your ranking? So Reels and IGTV, etc. I think that if it's comfortable and if you have a lot to say and create video content and it's easy for you to do, then go ahead and use everything that's available. The problem is that it doesn't necessarily help your ranking, meaning that it's not, if you don't post a reel or you don't post an IGTV and all you do is creating posts and boosting it, you're going to be fine. As long as you are on both social media channels. The main thing I want to get across today is that I think a lot of people try to do everything they can to get the most out of the organic reach. But the algorithm and everything that's the way that Facebook and Instagram are engineered today is not necessarily in favor of that. And what they want businesses to do is to pay to be seen. Eventually, organic reach for businesses might be at 0%. So what I'm trying to say here is that it's just different ways you can showcase your product, but do what you can, but do it with boosting, and don't try and do everything in one go, because it will feel like you are running forever and you're not getting to your destination. So less is more, and rather keep 400 to 500 Rand a month for boosting budgets, even less than that. Yeah, I think, yeah, we can get ourselves in a bit of a spin trying to make sure we tap into everything that's available to us.
Nadia, just one last thing. Maybe you could give us a suggestion. Obviously, everyone on the call, we all at different stages of experience with social media. We all have different businesses, and a lot of us are in the communal space. Is there one thing you can suggest we try do between now and next week? Just like a small goal, or one or two steps, and yeah, if we try and work towards them, it could help us move forward in our social media journey. Let's put it that way.
Okay, perfect. I think write down your goals. What do you want to get from your social media channels? Is it followers? Is it more engagements? Do you want to get sales through your social media channels? Do you want to get inquiries? Then from there, you need to, I can in the next session show you how to achieve each of those different types of goals. But you need to decide what are those things that you want to get from your social media channels. And then look at your pillars. What you can customize the pillars for you and use you can have 3 to 4 pillars for your business, and just try and define what those pillars are and what they mean, and slot in a goal with that pillar. So if your pillar is lifestyle, maybe your goal is to get sales, so that you can start engineering your content and your posts to align with your goals, and what you want to get from that piece of content. So no longer just posting for the sake of posting because you need to post, but rather be quite strategic in each post and what you want to get from each post. And each pillar, you can have maybe do 2 posts per month per pillar. So that way you can have at least 6 to 8 posts every month that you know has a goal attached to it, is going to be meaningful and has a strategic plan. And then you want to look at then I think the next thing before next week is to think about your ad budgets. Like, how much would you want to spend and how much are you willing to spend on social media? Yeah, I think that's everything.
I think that's enough.
Yes. Cool.
Okay, so maybe you and I, when I send an email to everyone later with the link, we can just add what the next steps are, and then everyone can work at achieving those next steps at their own pace, and
Yes.
then we can take it further next week.
Perfect.
Okay, well, thank you, Nadia. I really
Thank you so much.
appreciate your time and just being so patient and working through the process with us and answering all our questions so easily. I mean, for you, it's just so easy. So we're just so grateful. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. And same link as today for next week, but I will resend it with the reminder. So thanks so much and keep well.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you.